Have you ever wondered why people with blue eyes usually have kids with blue eyes?
Or why people with blonde hair often have kids with the same hair color?
This is due to something called your genes. No, not that kind. There we go. And every person has them.
Your parents pass on one form of a gene, called an allele, to you, which determines traits such as your hair color, eye shape, and more.
We can predict the probability of certain traits using the parents' genetic code.
We do this by using something called a Punnett square.
This is a graph that maps out the possibilities of traits of the offspring of certain couples.
The Punnett square was invented in the early 1900s by a man named Reginald Punnett.
Since then, scientists all over the world have been using it for various purposes.
Today, we will be teaching you how to make it.
Before we get started, it is important to understand the difference between dominant and recessive alleles.
You have 2 alleles for every trait, one from your mom and one from your dad.
If you have a dominant allele and a recessive allele, the dominant allele will mask the recessive and the dominant trait will show up.
The only way for a recessive allele to be present is for 2 of the same recessive allele to be paired.
Today, we will be using the example of eye color.
The mother has 1 blue eye allele and 1 brown eye allele, and the father has 2 blue eye alleles.
Brown eyes are dominant.
To make a Punnett square, first draw a square divided into 4 sections.
Over the top, write the mother's genetic code, 1 allele over each box.
Write the father's genetic code on the left side, 1 allele to the side of each box.
This column is the mother's blue eye allele column, and this one is the mother's brown eye allele column.
Where the columns and rows intersect to create a box is where we put the offspring's possible genetic code.
It will have the brown eye allele from the mother, since it is in that column.
It will also have the father's blue eye allele, since it is in that row.
Continue filling out the Punnett square in this way.
Since brown eyes are dominant, all of the offspring on the left side will have brown eyes, and all of the offspring on the right side will have blue eyes.
That means that there is a 50% chance of the offspring having brown eyes and a 50% chance of it having blue eyes. It is important to know how to use a Punnett square because it is a useful chart that can help you calculate all kinds of probabilities.
By learning how to use a Punnett square, you open a whole new world of possibilities in the field of genetics.
We hope that this video was informative and helpful. See you next time!